There seems to be a consensus that the Bitcoin cycle peak will be in October 2025. Would it be wise to take profits before October 2025 to avoid the possibility of getting caught on the wrong side of the expected peak sell-off? Thank you for sharing your enthusiasm. It has carried me through the last 4 years. Woohoo! My first Bitcoin buy was April 2021. Wow. I remember you nailed the top, the first top in April 2021. I remember that. I remember a few things in that date. April 14th, 2021. Let me see. That was the Coinbase IPO when it just tanked after that. That was like top signal for the market. Anyway, very manipulated cycle. But let's get into a couple of things because we got to cover a few things. First of all, let's look at one of the tools. Right now, actually, let's go live to Bitcoin price. Bitcoin price is $99,100. All right. The reason we built all these tools, I'm overlaying two on each other right now. One is the profit taker, and they're using Bitcoin as a chart. And the other one is the Tabby model, top and bottom indicator. Tabby model is about to go yellow. All right. This is how volatile this beast is. If you just said to the profit taker, I have one Bitcoin, I want to take some profits, I want to retain at least 40 to 60% of my Bitcoin, boom, it would have sold you out at level 6, layer 6, and 35% of your Bitcoin would be sold at $109,933.45. Boom, that was the signal there. And what's even crazier about this, we've gone from level 6 all the way down through level 5, level 4, and we are now beneath level 3. Level 3 is at 101,700. If I added more layers, who knows what other layers would be in there too, maybe even as far as level 2. That's how crazy this market move has been. And that's why, yes, you never, ever regret taking profits. But humans sometimes don't want to let go because you know what's worse than taking profits? Is seeing potential of gainers missed. So people actually have less pain and hurt from being in a loss-making position than not making profits. So for example, let's put some color on that. Imagine you miss the top at 120 and it goes down to 90 or 80 or 70, say 50K swing down to the downside. People are less upset about that than if Bitcoin went to $160,000 and they sold too early. That is the psychology. Imagine selling at 110 per this model and Bitcoin goes to 160. That would cause them much more pain and anguish than writing it down $50,000. Instead of writing it up 50 grand one way, they write it down the elevator 50 grand, and that would cause less pain. That is human nature. And that's our reptilian brain. And I'm sorry we have one, but that's why we have models to help us have that discipline. Okay, the discipline that you're looking for, Lance. What should we do? And remember, we have optimized the profit taker to layer you out. So you're still on the wagon, but you can actually calculate your opportunity cost. And remember, if your cost basis, like most people here, would be like 20K or even less, selling at 100K or 112K or 109K or 120K is not bad at all. You're still making a lot of money. Okay, so please don't forget that. Very important. Now, let's talk about where we're going. Yes, there is more unrest in the world, and it's having a huge impact on markets. And of course, this thing always happens on a bloody Sunday, bloody Sunday, when the only thing you can dump is Bitcoin. And that's exactly what's happening. But shout out to Sanjay. He just sent me this literally right before I went live. This from Cointelegraph. And they're basically saying, history suggests Bitcoin taps 330K this cycle. 330K, that's up 300% from where we are now. And again, I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but people go mad if they miss out on this. But it is prudent to take profits along the way. Now, there's another thing I forgot to mention too. What you can do here is on the layers, if you are in a tax-friendly situation, or if you're trading IBIT in an IRA, 401k, superannuation fund, ISA, wherever you are on the planet, some tax-free vehicle, there's no problem selling at 112 and then buying back in at 99. Then ride it back up again, sell at 112 again or 110 and buy back in at 99. You can do that all day long. That's the great thing about layers too. But if you are paying taxes, there is a penalty that goes along with that. You go from long-term capital gains, for example, if your cost base is 20K, you pay 20% on that. And then if you buy back in and you take profits again, you could be paying 40% on that in short-term capital gains. So be careful of your taxes, everybody. And we don't know how high we're going to go. If we make it to 130K or 150K, I will be delighted and I will be rotating.